Oh, what's good, Josh? Your boy Jay Suave. I am the host of Jay Suave TV. And for the first time in my life, I'm watching 28 Days Later. Word on the street was that 28 Years Later dropped sometime this month. And I want to go see it, but I didn't want to see it without seeing the OGs first. And this is the big OG too. I'm talking, this movie dropped in 2002. So I just felt the need to pay it its respects, and I'm glad that I did. This movie was fire. For 2002 standards, I'm gonna clap it up for this one. There were a few bad cuts I noticed throughout the movie, especially towards the end. For the most part, it's solid throughout, and I really did mess with the premise as I was watching. A rage-induced zombie apocalypse signed me up. Yeah, man, I just wanted to come on here and give my flowers to 28 Days Later real quick. I do obviously plan on watching 28 Weeks Later after this, and then 28 Years Later after that. I may or may not get a video for 28 Weeks Later. If it don't move me, I don't know what to tell you. But a 28 Years Later breakdown is definitely coming, so y'all stay tuned for that. For now, as I yap about this great movie, y'all already know what y'all gotta do. Before I even get to yapping, like, comment, share, subscribe, do all those things. Let's talk about 28 Days Later. So the premise is simple. I like that because while I'm in this vocal recording mode, I have to abide my yappery. It's so many more videos that gotta be made. Basically, the movie starts off with the rundown of what the hell is going on currently. This pandemic / zombie apocalypse, before they knew it was a zombie apocalypse, is going crazy in the UK. People are panicking. Now, one thing I liked about this movie is that off the rip, they showed how this thing even started. Apparently, there were these monkeys that were being tested, and they had this rage virus within them. When this group pulls up trying to free the monkeys for whatever reason, one of the monkeys rushes somebody in the group, biting their neck, and spreading the virus like that. Mind you, this virus spreads so quick. It ain't like The Walking Dead where you got a cool 20-30 minutes before somebody turns. So that shit happens on the spot. Everybody in that place stood no chance of making it out. Maybe one of y'all could say it in the comments. I really don't know why this group was so pressed to free the monkeys respectfully. Like, I'm not for them being in cages or nothing like that either, but these scientists are telling y'all, yo, relax. You do not want to free these apes. But they were so pressed to do it. I don't understand. After this much needed context on how everything got started in this movie, we fast forward to 28 days later. This is where we meet our main character, Jim. He's waking up in this hospital. At least I thought it was a hospital. Maybe I'm getting him confused with Rick Grimes. Wherever he's at, he's leaving the spot. He's seeing that the city is desolate. He's seeing these newspaper articles of how the city got evacuated. I know in that moment, he's probably thinking to himself, damn, I'm the only person left. But he don't even know the full extent of why shit happened how it did. Obviously, he didn't experience it. He was in a coma or something, so all of this shit is new to him. My son walks into this random church and sees all these bodies just laid out. As he's seeing all this, somebody walks into the church, so he's thinking that he finally met somebody that's on the same plane as him. But he very quickly finds out that that is not the case. The person starts rushing him and he knocks him over thinking that he done did something, but the whole time that's what they was looking for. See, the zombies in this movie invite smoke. They not running from it, they want more of it. Leads Jim to run the hell up out the church, and you got some of the zombies following him, and it's looking bad for bro until he runs into this group. We get our female lead, Selena, and this other dude. Now, if I'm calling him other dude in the zombie apocalypse, I mean, I think you pretty much know what the hell is gonna happen there. But they save his life, thankfully. They give him a rundown of what's going on. Now the tower's been evacuated, but Jim's not trying to hear that. He gotta go see his folk. Selena's super hesitant to do this, but the dude that she's with is like, all right, we'll go check out the scene tomorrow. Daylight strikes, they start making their way to Jim's crib. They get there and they see that his parents are cooked. They really died in the bed together, holding this man's baby picture. It don't get sadder than that. They decide to spend the night, and while Jim is processing the fact that his parents are gone, a zombie literally runs up in his crib. Two of them, I think, out of nowhere, straight devious. The plot was on Jim's side. I can't say the same for dude that he was running with. Gets up, we see he's injured, and Selena does not hesitate to kill him. The one thing I really liked about this movie is how Selena's character slowly opens up more to Jim and the idea of being in a group setting. After she kills her partner or whoever he was to her, they decide they gotta hit the road. And she tells Jim straight up, if you slow me down in any kind of way or you get bit, I will not hesitate. In a heartbeat, I will shoot you dead. The foreshadowing in this movie was really OD too. I thought nobody was gonna peep that you just want to have sex bar. No, I peeped that. You are not slick. She was feeling Jim from day one. As they're walking, Jim sees these bright lights in this tall ass apartment building way across the way, but they make it to the apartment complex. They start scaling the steps. They about to have a heart-to-heart moment, but it gets interrupted by more of these zombies. Obviously, Jim just got out the hospital, out of this coma that he was in, so he's trying to keep up with Selena. But like she said, if you slow me down, I'ma leave you. But admittedly, it's looking bad for Jim until my boy Frank pulls up. Shout out to Frank. I had my reservations about him throughout the movie. I thought he was going to end up being a creep, but thankfully he was real chill. He saved Jim and Selena's life, introduced them to his daughter Hannah, and they decided to move as a group towards Manchester, where things are supposed to be a lot calmer, so they say. There's actually people on the other line of this radio literally saying that they got everything that they need in Manchester. So that's where they're making their way to. Got a lot of close calls in this journey to Manchester, though. Some things that definitely could have been avoided. I don't know why Frank still decided to drive over all those cars when Jim clearly told him that that was not a good idea. That shit was cool in the moment, I guess, but you making it mad hot. These zombies won't be on your ass in 2.5. And then they were. Then he had his daughter fixing the tire of the car. Imagine if she lost her life messing with your stupid ass. Frank's my guy, but come on. One thing I can say about this movie, it was so many close calls that did not need to happen. We see them go to a gas station and Jim decides to go on his own against Selena's words. For cheeseburgers that he didn't even secure. The only thing he got in that damn gas station was a body of a whole child. You know bro was scarred after this. Despite all these close calls though, we see them bonding as a group. It's genuine vibe. Unfortunately, when they finally make it to Manchester and see that things weren't as Frank heard on the radio, things immediately go left. Frank separates from the group to sulk and he sees this crow gnawing at a zombie up top. So in his fit of anger, he decides to walk up under where the crow is gnawing at the zombie and kick the wall beneath them. I don't know what bro was trying to cook with this. You couldn't just throw something at the crow from a distance. I don't want to cook him entirely though, because I'm not sure if he really understands how you could turn into a zombie in this world. I mean, unfortunately, he's going to find out the hard way, but he probably didn't know that beforehand. Zombie's blood falls right in his eye, and in this moment, I feel like he definitely did not know how this virus is spread. Because he had all the time in the world to move. My son is literally looking up at it like, brother, if you don't get out the way, you have a whole daughter. And he was about to off in the next scene. He's talking about I love you, but you need to stay away. I told y'all, he didn't have no time for a goodbye. It's a 1, 2, 3, and you a zombie in this universe when you get infected. He was about to collect 2 bodies in one day, somebody's child and Frank, until the cavalry finally arrived. And I felt so bad for Frank in this moment because you could tell that boy was so disappointed when he pulled up. And it was nobody that he expected to be there. It's only right after he turns into a zombie that y'all decide to pull up. And then people end up being trash too. First of all, it's only like 10 to 15 of them there. And they're all assholes. Like, yeah, the place is secure and everything like that. But the moment they was telling them, y'all go be safe here, I already knew they was going to get overrun. Come on, this not my first rodeo. These people are obnoxious, misogynistic. You literally got the leader talking about I promised them I would get them to safety. And that promise, I also promised them women too. Because obviously it's a group of only men, so they're thinking about repopulating after this pandemic done hit. And it's just really nasty how they're doing it. Like, they literally kidnapped Selena and Hannah, separating them from Jim, who's on the run at this point. And they just planning to do whatever with them. That shit is crazy. But what was crazier is that they literally had a slave with them. A zombie slave. But still, man was black at everything. That shit was so crazy. For some reason, the leader decides to show Jim this black man who died some days ago, who he's getting valuable information from. Learning what makes them tick, and he says in the next couple of days he's gonna see if they can live without food. That shit is so foul because you literally know that they can. You don't need to do this. I know you've seen your fair share of zombies in this universe. You know they can live without food. Like I said, Jim's on the run. He's trying to make it back to secure Selena and Hannah, and he does so with relative ease. These soldiers are trash. Took their eyes off of Jim for 1 second. Turn around, he's gone. They start running in the complete opposite direction just to see Jim was hiding amongst the bodies right next to them. I mean, he's handling these dudes with no firearm, no nothing. Around this part of the movie where I noticed that the cuts were kind of but the scenes made up for it because Jim fakes out the leader by throwing one of the now dead soldiers in his car, thinking that he could save his life. At the very least, save his and drive his car up out of there when zombies start pulling up on him. But my son Jim somehow had time to hotwire the car. Just trolling before trolling was even a thing. He manages to make it back to Selena and she thinks that he's infected for a second. But contrary to what she said earlier on in the movie, she hesitates from shooting him. And that was the right thing to do. End up making out. Shit is real wholesome. So Hannah pull up trying to knock Jim out, thinking that he's bit. Also, shout out to Hannah for how she was hiding from the zombie in that one scene later on in the movie. Literally holding on for dear life on that mirror. She's also super tough for how she managed to get the leader up out the way, backing into a whole zombie. And then driving away, letting the zombie grab him up out the car. But not before dude is able to shoot Jim in the stomach. I thought it was wraps for bro. Luckily though, they're able to make it off of that plantation. And we fast forward another 28 days later. See that thankfully Jim is okay, Selena's still there, Hannah is doing something near water. We later realize it's some sort of SOS, so they all gather together when a plane is coming through. They're trying to signal out like, hey, like we out here, take us to safety. But he don't see them, and apparently this plane has been passing through mad times before. Shit is so effed up, they just laughing at it at this point, like y'all think he's gonna miss us again? Nah, that could not be me. Seeing them zombies go to work in this movie, I would have been so desperate to get on that plane. And then Selena legit laughing, but you could tell that shit did not amuse Jim. That's where the movie ends, y'all. I gotta give this start to the franchise an 8.5 out of 10. It's not perfect by any means, but I do appreciate the much needed context on how this virus is spread and how this whole pandemic began. I also like the main cast of characters, including Frank. I was so hurt when my boy died. Like I said, the foreshadowing in this movie was A1 because he knew he would need a group like that to watch over Hannah if anything did happen to him. Just for something to end up happening to him. There might Riders was cooking. Got to see a young Cillian Murphy getting his bag. Shout out to the actress who played Selena and Hannah too. Great performances all around. Even the leader and the black zombie were genuinely moving me. That's all I got for y'all for this movie review though. Looking forward to 28 weeks later. Let me know what y'all thought of this movie. Don't say nothing about 28 years later yet. Being host Jay Suave, I hope you've been entertained. We gonna talk soon. Peace.